Alright, Boba Fett, episode 5, which was, let's be honest, just like The Mandalorian season 3, episode 1, right? It was a Mandalorian episode, which I'm fine with. Because the pacing so far of Boba Fett to me has been a little off. I don't dislike the series by any means, but I feel like it could have been done a little bit differently, could have been better. But episode 5, the best one by far, to me. And from what I've seen online to a lot of people, but a lot of people are saying, like, yeah, but it's like he wasn't even in it, which is true. It's a Boba Fett series, and Boba Fett wasn't in episode 5, and people are saying that episode 5 is the best. That kind of says something. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Boba Fett. I love his story. I love the story that we've seen so far. I just think that it was kind of told a bit in a far-fetched way, because I think the organization of it was off, of the storytelling. Now, I haven't done my reviews for episodes 1 through 4, and I was kind of trying to wrap my head around this a little bit. But anyways, here's kind of a recap of what I think about 1 through 4. I think kind of the past stuff that he went through was really, really cool. But I think we should have seen that all in the first episode. I think the first episode should have been about what happens when he got out of the pit, what he went through with the sand people, everything like that. It should have been the first episode, and then bam, we're right here, right now, what he's going through right now, that should have been it. And from there on out, I feel like the pacing of everything would have been a lot better. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for like the jumping back and forth, but I just don't feel like it works for this series for some reason. I think it's a little slow. And don't get me wrong, I'm fine with like slow movie. And don't get me wrong, I'm fine with like movies and shows that are slow and they build up and everything like that. Like, that's not the problem. Like Dune, super slow movie, loved it. Eternals, super slow, really like that as well. This just to me feels a little bit off. There's some things like the speeder bikes that are meant to be like Harleys, like that was filmed really, really like weirdly. Right? And they're all shiny in a place where, you know, sand gets everywhere. You know, like Anakin said. So it's like, some things are a little bit off to me. But overall, I like the show. Because I like the story. Right? Even if it's like, oh, things could be done differently. I do like the story. But the reason I liked episode 5 so much is because there's just so much cool stuff there. We have the Darksaber, which is like, wow, it's cool. And we're learning about it, right? We're learning about what the Darksaber is like. Oh, it like he's fighting against it and he gets heavier with each swing. Like, that's pretty crazy. That fight scene, wow, that's some good Star Wars right there. And I know a lot of people are saying we've been missing some good Star Wars, but that's some good Star Wars right there. And I love the whole lore of like the Mandalorians, right? I love all of that, and I was excited to see it. And now I really want Mandalorian season 3 to come out. And I'm really looking forward to the next episode of Boba Fett, because it seems like everything's finally kind of like, everything has been built up to one episode. One episode. And it's the next episode. So I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited the Mandalorian is joining the fight. I don't know if we're going to see baby Grogu. Are they going to show that briefly in the next episode and then he goes and meets up with Boba, or not? Because I definitely want to know what's in that pouch. Things get interesting. And that to me is kind of like the problem, is now things are kind of just getting interesting because you've had all this stuff with Boba Fett's past, which I like to see, but again, it's like in each episode it jumps back, it jumps back, it jumps back. I feel like they should have just done all that at first and then gone to what we have now, because it's still all very interesting. It's just a little slow pace for me. The last episode stepped it up. Episode 4 would be my favorite Boba Fett episode, since he wasn't in episode 5. Episode 5 is my favorite of the series so far, but again, Boba wasn't in it. Now, I am very hopeful for the next episode. I think it's going to be very, very good, and I hope we get some really good story out of it, and I hope it sets up other things as well, especially for Boba Fett and the Mandalorian. I hope we see Grogu. Don't think we will, but I hope we see him. But hey, let me know what you all think of the series so far. What did you think about this episode? Do you think it was a little out of place considering it was about the Mandalorian and not Boba Fett? Granted, obviously the connection, Mandalorian there, like, but let me know what you think about this. Do you like the series? Do you not like it? Would you change something? Let me know. As always, I'm Warren, and thank you so much for stopping by my channel.